Okay, I can tell this is not a joke now, and this is for real. But also, this is the third time I'm having to make this. It aggravates me, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But hello everyone, it's I Ipa Feliza, and I am back with news on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie from Scott Cawthon. Now, I'm not gonna go ahead and just, say all that kind of things, blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna go ahead and read this. Because I'm already aggravated from the first two times I tried making this, but failed miserably. Like the first time, it was a big fail thanks to my dad interrupting me, and the second time, I accidentally pressed the stop button when I didn't mean to. So I'm a little aggravated right now, but don't worry, I said only a little. Anywho, I don't know why it says bad news about the Fnaf movie, but okay. That's like a smiley face, but it's like the weird way. Wait, I can't even click on it. Ain't that something? Hi everyone, before we get to the bad news concerning the state of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I wanted to share a brief history on the Fnaf screenplay. Oh, I see, so you're basically wanting to give us a brief history on the Five Nights at Freddy's scripts, huh? Alright, I understand. It's been a long road, so let's take a look at some of the screenplays that have come and gone over the years, in no particular order. I see. Or feel free to skip to the end really quick to see the bad news, and then come back to enjoy the list. I'm not going to do that, but thanks for offering that. Some of these came from big studios, from big directors, some from me, and some from other hired writers. Oh, I see. I gave the screenplays a name, and I'll include a brief, I don't know how to say that word, as well as what ultimately led to each screenplay being rejected. Let's get started. Let me set my phone down real quick. Okay, here we go. That way, just in case, you won't have to deal with that, if that's what you're hearing. See, let's get started. The F screenplay. Basic setup. Group of teenage troublemakers break into Freddy's. Chaos ensues. What kind of troublemakers were they, though? Like, were they the troublemakers that basically ripped Mangle apart? Was that which troublemakers they were? Problems. Although a pretty basic setup, there were a lot of odd choices here, which only got weirder as the story continued. I see. The story ended with our protagonist in a secret underground animatronic factory that was designing robots for the government. Reminds me of a Wattpad story I read before. It's called Reader Exlobit, and I'll leave a link in the description for y'all to go to it and read it if y'all want to. By the way, I'll let you know real quick so that way you know what site it's on. It's called Wattpad. If you don't know how to spell it, it's WATTPAD. Just letting you know. There's a site for it, and you can also get the app as well. I have the app, but I used to just go to the site. But now, I simply just use the app. Since my parents allowed me to, thankfully. What's up with that little face there? WT. I think the rest of it's meant to be F, but it just screwed up there. Meh, that's okay. Strayed way too far from source material. Tossed. I see. The Fleshy's Take Manhattan screenplay. I don't need to actually read the rest of that. Well, maybe except the last one. Is consensus as Burned with Fire. Which kind of reminds me of both the ending of Jason Takes Manhattan, and it kind of reminds me of Gremlins as well. Because, of the way how they got rid of them. Like, Jason got burnt by sewer water, which is really weird. Like, what? And I think the Gremlins, got killed by fire? Did the Gremlins get killed by fire? I don't remember. I mean, I know they hate sunlight. I know that for sure. Okay, look, it's been a long time, okay? It's been a long time. So I don't need to read the Plushie Take Manhattan one, because, it's pretty short, so, I could just scroll through that. The random Charlie screenplay. I'm guessing this. Stop it, you stupid door. I'm guessing this is meant to like resemble the Charlie from the Five Nights at Freddy's books. I guess. Is that what this is meant to resemble? Basic setup. Charlie and friends sneak into Freddy's after hours to retrieve a lost toy. Alright. Problems. Although sharing names of familiar characters from the series, these characters had nothing to do with their game and book counterparts. Oh, okay. So while featuring familiar elements of the games, it seemed too loosely based on the game and lost a lot of its impact because of it. Verdict felt like a random bag of Fnaf elements with no real stakes. Meh. I see. The Silver Ice screenplays. So you made multiple of those, huh? Kind of like the book. And the book is a really amazing book. I really love it. It's well played out in everything. Even the second one, really amazing book. And I'm still working my way on the third one. I said I actually had a theory for it. I said that when I tried making this video earlier. But failed. Again. So yeah. But I don't want to go and explain it and everything of the sort. Because I feel like I'm just going to waste time. Especially for how late it is. So yeah. Basic setup. Kira. Why does that name remind me of Death Note all of a sudden? If you get where I'm going with this. Yeah. Kira and I both worked on 3 versions of a Silver Eye screenplay over the course of about a year, trying to find the right approach to the story from the first book. Well, I mean, it was really, really good and everything. So I mean, y'all pretty much could probably find this good screenplay for that. I don't see why you're really calling them screenplays instead of just calling them scripts. But, hey. Go with whatever you want, man. Problems. These were the first attempts I made to write a screenplay after realizing it was going to be difficult to find someone else who understood the lore well enough to do it. I see. Unfortunately, it also meant these screenplays suffered greatly from inexperience at writing. Even Kira, with her writing expertise, couldn't save them. Oh. Verdict. Although these had some good elements, it ultimately decided to focus on making this. I ultimately decided to focus on making a screenplay from the games and not from the books. That's a good idea since you basically started the series on the games and not the books. So it's a good idea in my opinion. The Pawn Shop screenplay. I think I already know where this is going. Don't mind that. I hate these interruptions. I said there were going to be no interruptions. My God. Basic setup. A kid who watches after a pawn shop finds trouble when an animatronic is brought in. Which animatronic, basically? It turns out Freddy's had been robbed, and then the animatronics were taken to different locations for sale. What kind of idiots would do that? And which animatronic was it that was brought into the pawn shop? Was it Freddy? Was it Foxy? What animatronic was it? The other animatronics come to retrieve the one at the pawn shop, and the kid and his friends get roped into adventure. Problems. A creative approach, but felt a little too much like a boy and his animatronic. Too much after-school adventure. Not enough horror. I see. So it would basically be more like Iron Giant. I see what you mean. Verdict. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah. The Cassidy screenplay. That name Cassidy reminds me of Cletus Cassidy from both the Venom movie and from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game. And I really love that video game. Especially with the continuous crimes every single time, so that way you're always busy. Except for the heroic and menace level. I really did not like that at all, because when it came to menace level, I hated that so much. Because then all your fans just turn on you and just hate you. It's like just J. Jonah Jameson all over again. In fact, that reminds me, they brought that fool back after such a freaking long time. And, like, who decided on bringing him back to begin with? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't really have a problem, but who decided to bring him back? The only thing I didn't really like about J. Jonah Jameson is because he just hates Spider-Man for absolute no reason. It's like the news. They make everything seem bad to begin with. And they just throw out their problems on whatever the frick they can find. So, yeah. Basic setup. Diving deep, the screenplay packed in a lot of lore, following the story of Cassidy. I'm guessing you're like, talking about the person that's, like, supposed to be Golden Freddy, I guess? But I don't know. Problems. Spanning multiple time periods, following multiple characters, and featuring lore from multiple games. This was pretty saturated, that's what I meant to say. Saturated to a fault. It may have been satisfying to the most hardcore fans, but it would have left the majority of people confused and lost. Hey, wait, maybe this was the most accurate screenplay. I mean, I would have been really confused about it, because I still do not understand the lore at all. I don't even understand the timeline. So yeah, I would have been lost. Verdict. Ultimately more of a visual encyclopedia than a movie. This just wasn't satisfying, even to me. Out. I see. The Misfit Kid screenplay. Oh. I can only imagine how this is gonna go. Basic setup. Single mom brings her kid to a new town. Kid finds Freddy's. Hilarity ensues. Okay, I don't know what the heck that means, but alright. Problems. One of the problems in creating a modern-day story with an old Freddy setting is finding a way to connect the protagonist to the restaurant, finding a reason for them to be there, and finding a reason for them to stay. The problem here was that the reason for this kid to go to Freddy's and have misadventures was too contrived and too forced. I see. I'm using a lot of breath right now. Verdict. Not a bad setup, but it just didn't work. I don't care about if I don't care about the characters, then there's a good chance no one else will either. Pass. Yeah, I see where you're going. This was going to be the screenplay for a while, because it didn't have any serious flaws. I ultimately just decided it wasn't good enough, though. I see. I understand. The Ghost Trackers screenplay. Sounds a lot like Phasmophobia. Or even Ghostbusters, but it sounds more like Phasmophobia people than Ghostbusters. And by the way, Scott Coffin, if you're watching this, and you're, like, wanting to understand what I'm talking about, then hey, I ultimately suggest, yes, you go watch Dawko whenever he's playing Phasmophobia. I mean, you and Dawko are technically friends, so I know it won't be difficult for you to go find his channel, and also for you to find a video of him playing Phasmophobia, so that way it can, like, explain to you what the players technically do. Like, they don't get rid of the ghost like Ghostbusters do. No. They, like, go find out what the ghost is, all that kind of crap. You know, they're basically, like what the screenplay title says, Ghost Trackers. Basic setup. A group of amateur ghost trackers sneak into the abandoned Freddy's. Problems. Although a very common setup for this sort of movie, the problem again arose about how to give these characters a connection to Freddy's itself. What ended up happening was too much of the story went to their own backstories and their own hardships, and it took the spotlight away from the story of Freddy's. Verdict. A stronger connection between protagonist and Freddy's was needed. Lesson learned. I see. The insane screenplay. Oh, I can only imagine how this is gonna go. Basic setup. Another Ghost Tracker variation. This one involved the Funtime animatronics. Oh, God. Underground bulb pit tunnels. Huh? Like Into the Pit, but different? and a marionette out for revenge. So, like, it's Phasmophobia, FNAF sister location, Into the Pit, and FNAF 2 together. Ain't that some crap? Problems. As some other screenplays ventured too far into adventure, this one went too far into action. I see. Because, like, from the way how it makes it seem more like you're trying to make it to where it's going to be based off Avengers Endgame because of how big of a crossover it is. Verdict. Too all over the place. With too many characters doing too many things. See what I mean? The Mike screenplay. Mike. That name, Mike. Aren't you talking about Mike Skimmett? Because I know he's a character of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. I know he is. If I remember correct, you play as him in one of the games, don't you? Like, you also play as Jeremy. I think his last name is Fitzgerald. I don't know how to say his last name. Like, you play as a lot of different characters. You even play as William Afton himself in one of the games, but I don't know which one. Basic setup. This makes sense. Why didn't I think of this before? Problems. Actually, this is a good mix. It has the best pieces from all the previous screenplays. Not really any problems here. All the right characters, all the right motivations, all the right stakes. Verdict. Yeah, we're going with this one. It's fun, it's scary, and it has great central story. Alright, so on to the bad news. The bad news is that there won't be any more screenplays to add to this list, since we're officially making the Mike screenplay. Filming starts in spring. You mean like spring from you mean like, what spring do you mean though? Like, spring for 2021? Is that what you mean? Because if that's what you mean, one part of me is like, I don't want to wait that long. Well, the actual me right now, like, I can wait that long. Because I support you all the way, Scott Coffin. Also, if you want me to, Scott, I could put a link in the description for you to go watch a Dawko whenever he's playing like Phasmophobia, if that's what you want me to do. But only if you want me to, because if you want me to, sure, I'll go ahead and do it. Also, I'll even put a link to my Discord server, since, you know, not a lot of people keep joining my Discord server, period. But yeah, this is all the information we have as of right now. But this is actually good information to know. At least we actually have an actual date for when they're gonna start filming. That's actually the good thing. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Def beam that like button. Subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Activate those notifications so you never miss a single video. Share this to all your friends, social media platforms, family, and you can save this to whatever playlist you want to. It won't get you copyrighted. And also, if you react to this, that won't get you copyrighted either. Alright, now, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Ooh!